Today we're going to go over two-step equations. Okay, so when we are solving two-step equations, here is going to be an example of what it is. X we're going to use for a variable, and then P, Q, and R on this example would be numbers. So the steps to solve this. First, we need to locate where the variable is, okay? Here's our variable. We need to undo addition and subtraction to remove the Q. So we always start with removing addition and subtraction first. And then we will undo multiplication and division to remove the P. Last, you check your solution. Okay, so let's look at our example here at number 1. 9a minus 2 equals negative 65. Okay, so I have plus 2 here. The inverse operation of subtraction is addition, so I'm going to add 2 to both sides. If I have negative 2 and I add 2, that will cancel out and be 0 there. Negative 65 plus 2 will give me negative 63. I'm going to rewrite the problem. 9a equals negative 63. Rewrite the problem so we do not forget or miss a step. Now I need to get a all by itself. 9 is connected to a by multiplication. So remember, if I see something like 9a, it really means 9 times a, okay? So to get a by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 9, because whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other. That will cancel out. A equals negative 7, because 9 goes into 63 7 times. And since I have one negative and a positive in a division, my answer will be negative. If you want to go ahead and check this, how we check this is we can just write negative 7 back into the problem. So if I write the problem as 9 times, parentheses negative 7, because I want to keep the negative 7 together. If I insert a number into where a variable was, I'm always going to put parentheses around that information. Minus 2, and see what that equals. And go ahead and put that into your calculator if you want. You're going to find out it equals negative 65. That is correct. Okay, same with number 2. I have plus 7 here. I'm going to start with that. The inverse operation of addition is subtraction. So minus 7 from both sides. That will cancel out. 31 minus 7 gives me 24. Bring the rest of the information down. Negative 4x equals 24. Okay, now I have negative 4x, which really means negative 4 times x. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. Because if I do it to one side, I must do it to the other. That'll cancel out, leaving me with just x. 24 divided by negative 4 is negative 6. Okay, because 4 goes into 24 6 times. I have the one negative. Negatives come in pairs. Or you could have stuck that in your calculator. Okay, and you end up with the same thing. Now, let's check this, okay, because it's important to learn how to go ahead and double check our answers in case we're ever stuck where checking our answer is the best way to solve too. So negative 4. Okay, I can even put negative 4 in parentheses. I can go ahead and put negative 6 in parentheses, okay, because that's telling me negative 4 times 6, because the two parentheses together, there's a multiplication symbol between those. I can't see, but it's there. We know that. Plus 7 And if you want to put that into your calculator just like that to prove that you can go ahead and do it and to practice working on that, -6 plus 7, you will get 31. That is correct. Okay, so again, inverse operations. Inverse is opposite inverse operations, okay? So operations that undo each other. So addition, the inverse is subtraction. Multiplication, the inverse is division. If it is squaring, okay, so if it's x squared, the inverse operation is to square root it. Okay, squaring is square root. Remember, our inverse operations. Okay, looking at the first problem we have up here, 8 equals 23 minus 5w. So it does not matter what side the variable is on, as long as the variable ends up alone on one of the sides. Okay, I'm not going to make you move it from left to right or any of that. Don't worry about that. But we will want to leave it on one side alone. So if I have, looking at that first problem, the w is already on the right-hand side, we're going to leave it there. Let's just leave it there and make it easy. So 23. If there is no negative sign in front of it, okay, I know it is going to be positive. So if I have $23 in my bank account and I need to bring it down to 0, okay, so if I have positive 23 and I want to zero that side out, I need to subtract 23. So subtract 23 from that side. If I do it to one side, I must do it to both. Subtract 23. Remember, we used to go ahead and do the cute little squiggly line river that we don't do anything on either side. If that helps, do it. If not, don't worry about that. Okay, so 23 minus 23, that cancels out. 8 minus 23 will give me negative 15. Bringing the information down now, bringing this down, so I have equals negative 5w. Now, negative 5 is connected to w by multiplication. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I must divide both sides by negative 5. Divide by negative 5. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 will cancel out. Okay, leaving me just w equals negative 15 divided by negative 5 leaves me 3. So if I'm going to write the answer now that it's like this, I'm still going to say w equals 3 for my answer. But now let's go ahead and check this. Let's see how we would prove our answer is correct. So 23 minus 5 parentheses 3. And let's see if we end up getting 8. So 23 minus 5 times 3 is indeed 8. I proved it. And when you get to prove it, please stick this whole thing right here in your calculator and see if that's what you get, okay? That's what I want you to do. I want you to practice using the calculator on it. In order to open a new thing on a calculator, let me write this over here. So, open calculator. Okay, so when you turn it on, so you're going to turn it on, you're going to go through all of the test things and just enter. So, okay, so to open calculator, hit the home button. Okay, you're going to go ahead and hit this guy. And then you're going to, that is at the top right, and so this it says on, okay? That is, you can hit that one. And then I want you to hit the number 1, which is new. And it's going to say save and tell it no. And then you want add calc. So that is number 1. And then you can go ahead and enter that information in there, okay? That's how you open up a new calculator page. So, Next problem. If I have negative 6 equals 1 plus n divided by negative 4. Well, let's start with the easy stuff first. The easy stuff is I have a 1 here. It's a plus. Okay, it's positive 1. So to get rid of it, I'm just going to subtract 1 from both sides. Subtract 1 from both sides. That's going to cancel out. 6 minus 1 is negative 7. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and equals n over negative 4. Well, this might look intimidating, but it is not. Okay, so I have n divided by negative 4. The inverse operation of division is multiplication times both sides by negative 4 times by negative 4. Okay, negative 4 divided by that, that'll cancel out. So n equals negative 4 times negative 7, and it'll give you 28. Now, go ahead and put 28 back into your problem, and let's see if we get negative 6. So, in your calculator, I want you to do 1 plus parentheses 28 over negative 4. Do that, hit enter. You should have gotten negative 6. That is correct. If you didn't, let me know, and I will help you enter it into the calculator correctly. Okay, last problem we have here, negative 17 plus r divided by 2 equals negative 25. So let's start here. I have negative 17. Well, I want that to zero out, so I'm going to add 17. That'll zero out, but I have to add 17 to both sides. So negative 25 plus 17, end up with negative 8. Bring the rest of the information down. Okay, so now r divided by 2 equals negative 8. Opposite of a division is multiplication times both sides by 2. That will cancel, leaving me just r. Negative 8 times 2 will give you negative 16. Okay, put negative 16 back into the problem. In your calculator, write negative 17 plus parentheses negative 16 over 2. See what you get. You should have gotten negative 25. If you didn't, again, let me know. I will help you how to get that. Okay, real quick, we're going to go over a few things. You will see this time and time again where it gives you word expressions and it wants you to go ahead and come up with an algebraic expression to represent to this, okay? So the sum of a number, no idea what it is, and 17 is going to mean equals. If it is something, it equals it. 24. So sum tells me I'm going to add it up. So the sum, so if I'm going to add a number and 17, it is 24. That's it. That is all it is telling me, okay? So read it, and as you read it, write down kind of what it is, and then put the parts together. So 18 subtracted, so I got 18 subtracted from a number, no clue what a number is, and we're going to call it x, is, so it's going to equal 35. Well, we can go ahead and we have enough information here. We can just write this now. So a number, then I subtract 18 from it, it will equal 35. That's it. So last one, negative 4 less than, I'm going to subtract that from that. Remember, less than is one of those turnaround words, meaning this is going to come after something, less than. Less than a number, no clue what that number is, we're going to call it x, is, keyword again, means equal, 17. Okay, so negative 4 less than a number. So I'm going to have my number, and then I'm going to subtract negative 4 from it. It is 17. While this is mathematically correct, look at it this way too, okay? We can write it this way, or I can go, oh, 2 negatives right here in a row really means positive. So x plus 4 equals 17. Again, I gave you the cute little summary page. give me a sentence of the summary of the lesson, something you learned, something you need to work on. Maybe it's just an important information you want to remember when it comes to solving two-step equations. Give me at least a sentence at the bottom of your notes, please.